Hello friends, and welcome to another episode of Lex's Budget Bunker Build. So that's another week under my belt, and here's the weekend, which is bunker building time. So it's pretty chilly here at the moment. It's outside, it's about 4 degrees. Inside the workshop here, it's a nice balmy 11 degrees. But that's all good. Once I get working, I'll soon warm up. So I hope you guys have had a good week. It's been an interesting one in the what with this aurora sparking up. Just wondering if any of you guys out there got to see that. I got a couple of photos. Pretty amazing. Apparently they say it could be a once in a lifetime event. You know what? I hope it is. And here's why. Because I don't know how many of you have heard of this, but there was an event in 1859 called the Carrington event, which was a similar sort of thing, a geomagnetic storm. It's the largest one in recorded history. And if you think about that, probably prior to that, they wouldn't have had much of a means to even record such an event. But that event in 1859, I mean, that was a stage where electricity was just basically, it was just kind of taken off. And the intensity of that solar storm knocked out telegraph stations and caused the power grid to short out, overload and short out. So you're thinking back, if you look at some of the electrics and stuff of that era, it's all big, thick, heavy wires. I mean, there's no microcomputers or any of that jazz. So, much more robust than what we've got today. So if you can imagine a Carrington event happening today, the implications of that are quite scary, to be honest. I don't sort of think of myself as a doom and gloomer, but it does take you, give you pause to think about it. And then you think that 99% of people aren't prepared probably to survive a week even without what we take for granted. Electricity, running water, flushing toilets, open supermarkets, petrol for our cars, all those things we take for granted. Most people, within a week, they're going to be stuffed. And that kind of came about during the COVID lockdowns, that people just weren't prepared. They were panicking. And this is in the first world countries. So, some people, I guess, look at me a bit sideways when I say I'm doing a bit of prepping, and obviously the bunker's the next level of that. But, you just try and think about what would happen if there was a Carrington event today, and think where we'd be in 2 weeks' time when everybody's run out of food and they're getting desperate. And it's they having a safe sanctuary to sort of hunker down in until things get back, if ever get back to normal. It's not a silly thing. It's not a silly thing to have. So anyway, that's enough rambling. It's time to do some work. So today I'll be working on the elevator. So as if you watched last week's video, you see I've got the basic chassis ready. Let's just swing the camera around, have a look at that. So that's the basic chassis. So I just got to finish welding that up because that was just tacked together. And then I'm going to put a few. I'm actually going to put some bits of rebar in the corners, just I guess strengthen that up a bit. And again, it's not really. I mean, although the frame of the elevator will have my weight on it, this part of it is really just for guiding. But anyway, I'm going to put some rebar in there, and then I need to come out and build another frame and build a platform to stand on and a platform underneath to house the winch and the battery and the control gear. And so that's today's project. It's probably going to take me a couple of weeks to get all of that done, but we'll see how we go. Here's the winch. So quite a nice looking unit. Quite pleased with that. I unboxed it and had a good look at it. I actually popped an unboxing video up for my Patreons. just to give them a close look at all of that. But you guys will get to see that when I go to fit it. So anyway, let's crack on. Alright, that's plenty strong enough for the next stage. So I think the main part of the frame I'm going to make out of these two, I think these are like fence posts. These were in the rubbish, so at work. And I've stripped them down, and yeah, I think they're doing it quite nicely. Just got to cut them down to size at 880mm long, and then I'll make some vertical pieces, weld them on, and then some cross pieces to join it onto the chassis. I definitely think I'm getting better at cutting steel with the old colour blade on the angle grinder. I'm quite pleased with that one. Look at that, how square that is. It's not bad for an amateur. Right guys, I've got the frame all sort of held together by G-clamps. So that's the basic layout of it. So I'm just going to tack that together now, and then actually try it in the channel and see how she looks, just to be 100% sure that it's going to work out okay. It's going to be a lot easier to do that than weld it all up and then find that it's wrong and then to cut it apart. So there we go. That's let's turn that weld off. Enough of that noise. So I've loaded that in using my block and tackle, and it's looking about right. So I've just got to put a platform on top of it and then mount everything underneath, and we'll have a working elevator. Okay guys, so I'm just working out how I'm going to mount this winch. So I think I want the plate like that with the guide on top, and then what I'm thinking of doing is putting a piece of steel, basically put a piece on there and then bring a piece up, screw it onto there, a couple of bits of rebar to further brace it, and then I'll have a bolt which will hold that eyelet. So, so I'm going to weld it all up, but once I'm happy that it's all working, I'll probably drill and bolt some of these parts just as a, as a sort of a safety backup. I don't want to trust everything onto the welds, and I'll look into whether there's any way of further securing the cable, because basically everything rides on that joint. And I'm just not sure how confident I am. I mean, I know I should be confident in it, but yeah, excuse me if I'm a bit skeptical. So I'm going to see if there's any way to maybe further secure the cable. But that'll be for a later date. So an initial thing I need to do is make up this bracket so that I can fix the cable. Then I need to make up some sort of a plate for the bottom here. That'll actually hold the winch, and put in a little sort of a well, shelf all the way along, so I can put the battery in the control unit, and then I'll be getting somewhere. So, see how we go. Well guys, I've run out of time. It's just starting to get dark now. So looks like that'll be it for the weekend. I'm pretty happy with what I've got done, to be honest. I mean, I've got this frame's all finished, and that's all, like, it's welded solid. It's all complete basically. I've got the mount here on the wall for the cable to hook onto. Nice solid bolt there. And you can see I've braced it, because I mean this will be carrying the whole weight of the elevator, which probably will never really exceed, oh, I don't know, I mean the elevator itself with the winch and the battery, and that's probably going to be 50-60 kg, and I weigh 70, so realistically it's probably never going to be more than a couple of 100 kg, which is not a lot in the big scheme of things. You know, the winch is rated for 2000 kg, so it'll be operating in about 10% of its capacity most of the time. But I'll be constantly looking for ways to make it safer. So yeah, I'm quite pleased with that. This frame now won't probably need to come back out. I'll leave that here, and I'm just working on the mount for the winch, which is going to go here. So I've just about got that sorted out in my mind, how I'm going to do that. And it's going to entail a lot of bolts and welding and steel, but again, you know, everything's going to be hanging off that, so I don't want that popping off. Once that's done, then I'll need to put in like a shelf around this part, and that'll house the battery and the control unit, and then a platform on here, which will be what the load goes on. So it's pretty close. You know, I should get this going up and down next weekend, hopefully. So I would have liked to have got it moving this weekend, but it is what it is. But I do feel quite pleased that I feel like I've done a good job. Everything's really well welded and braced, and I don't think it's going to be going anywhere. So that wraps it up for another weekend, friends. So thanks for watching, and just another shout out to my Patreons. Appreciate your continued support there, Demon Zito, Rumble Rick, and Odvin V Magnuson. And also appreciate all the support from everybody that subscribed and liked my videos and also commented. I really appreciate the comments. You know, there's some fantastic ideas coming out through those, which, you know, some of them I'm using. They're quite useful. So keep them coming, guys. I really appreciate it. So until next time I can get down here, this is Lex out. Have a great week. Bye-bye.